What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on The Flash Season 5. So make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Flash-based videos this year. So Comic-Con is coming up next month in San Diego. This is where the Flash main cast will be. Most likely the actress playing Nora Allen, Jessica Kenneth Parker will be there, Grant Gustin will be there, Todd Helbin. So that's where we're factually going to find out a lot of info. So until then, there's not really that much factually speaking info out there, but Grant Gustin was at his third ever expo outside of the main Comic-Con, being Ace Comic-Con Seattle, which is pretty cool. He had a few things to say about the up-and-coming season of Flash, but it was mainly just fan questions, to be honest. So I'm going to go over what he actually said, and then I'm going to go over some supposed leaks and rumors which have come out on websites such as 4chan and Reddit. I've had multiple people send me messages about these, but to be honest, they do sound a bit misleading, so we go over them, but I'll give you a kind of spoiler warning for them when we get there. So this is info that Grant Gustin had to say himself. I don't want to spoil too much. Obviously, Grant teased to the crowd at Ace Comic-Con Seattle. I don't know too much either. What I could presume is we're going to see, Nora is trapped in our time. But first he says presume, so you could title it like she is trapped here, but he says, I presume we're going to see. So if she's trapped in our timeline, that is a bit weird because she's a speedster, so obviously the ramification of whatever this big mistake is has trapped her in our timeline so she can't get out. But if these 4 instances are so important, has she been in Central City all this time? Because most people thought that she kept going back to the future and then back to the present and back and forth. So has she been trapped in our timeline all this time? I think we're probably going to see Barry trying to help her figure out a way to get back to her time and see Barry and Iris interacting with an adult version of their child. It's going to be pretty cool, really cool. We're going to see a new speedster. So the new speedster on about is Nora Allen. It's not another new speedster. Some people I've seen on Twitter thought he was inferring to this speedster that Jay Garrick's been training, and I highly doubt Jay Garrick's been training up Nora Allen, to be honest. And then another question is this: as fans who follow the season know, Nora Allen as the mystery girl became increasingly unique after she debuted in last year's Crisis on Earth X. The audience spent months speculating what Nora's role could be for her to use the speedster powers to help Barry in the fight against Clifford DeVoe, the Thinker, and then making her grand entrance. So she didn't help him at all, so I don't think the big mistake is actually correlated to the Thinker, or else she would have stepped in. According to executive producer Todd Helbin, Nora's arrival will definitely take the series into a new direction, especially depending on what exactly her big mistake is. So they keep going on about this big mistake. Todd Helbin keeps teasing so much, but he doesn't really say anything. We always like to introduce new characters and sort of highlight areas that come from the comics, but we won't want to behold exactly to them, so we can change the stories we can fit and tell it in a televisional show. Helbin told comicbook.com after season 4 finale, with Nora, it's the time that she comes from and what she did. She makes the sort of big mistake at the end of the episode. You see the concern of what she's done, and Barry certainly learned his lesson from time travel. So now it's going to be interesting to put her in a different side of the problem and see how he can help her. So what's interesting about this is the Flash show's inconsistent. So after season 3, and after they couldn't actually explain the whole how did Savitar ever exist, during the Comic-Con season 4, Todd Helbin couldn't even explain how Savitar ever existed. They're like, we're not doing time travel anymore because the audience don't understand it, the showrunners don't understand it, and then literally in the same season they have a time traveling character coming back and forth, and then again, yeah, we're doing time travel again because the audience didn't like the Thinker villain, so now we're going to a new speedster. Okay, we might not necessarily be getting Reverse Flash or Godspeed or anyone like that currently at the moment, but it's like, yeah, we're going back to time travel. So it's like the show cannot make their mind up. It's just, if you're going to do time traveling, keep it consistent, because Flash show is about speedsters time traveling. When you take that factor out of the show, it becomes just a show purely about Barry Allen. And it's supposed to be about everything, not just Barry Allen. So it's interesting that she's trapped in our timeline, which doesn't really make much sense. But soon as she is going to be a season regular, that implies she's going to at least be in 18, 19 episodes out of the 22 episodes, because they've cut the season down to 22 episodes instead of 23. So she's going to have to be trapped in this timeline for quite a while. And it's going to be interesting. But like I said, Grant didn't really say a lot. I'll link it down below where you can actually watch the full. It's about an hour long, but I didn't want to edit this. So I was sent some info about the supposed episode 1 for this episode, which is odd because Grant did say during this convention that he's not actually read the script. So it appears that supposedly some leaks have got out. You know, we dropped the video last week, or I think it was 2 weeks ago now, about details of season 5, about Cicada coming, about Nora Allen's twin brother being hot pursuit and stuff like that. Well, this is coming from the exact same source, but I would take it I just wouldn't take it as factual, to be honest, because a lot of it is a bit weird. So it said this: during episode 1, Nora Allen would explain the big mistake, but the consequences won't come straight away. I mean, you could foreshadow that, because she's going to have to explain what's been going on, because she can't go, oh, by the way, I think I've made a big mistake, and then obviously we've got a 6-month break till October, so she's going to have to explain in the first episode what the mistake is. And obviously we already know from what Todd Helbing says, throughout these 4 occurrences where we've seen her, we're going to understand what the consequences are. So this bit makes complete sense. And also, Grant did say she was going to be stuck in the timeline, which is interesting. And it says we're going to meet Cicada in episode 1, which is kind of predictable because, like I've said multiple times, guys, I don't really think that he's the overall villain, or else they would have showed the teaser at the end of the actual episode, for episode 23, like they did plan and like I was told from a very good source. And then it says Iris isn't pregnant. I don't understand why this will be included, because if they're going to do a storyline about a future daughter, she's not randomly going to become pregnant. I mean, I think this daughter, Iris, won't get pregnant till at least season 6, so I don't believe this. There's a new suit upgrade. Oh, come on, please, really? This happens every year. He gets a slight modification of the suit. So realistically, I don't believe any of this. But I like to go over stuff even if it's completely made up. But I did come across it and was sent it multiple times. So it also says someone dies in the first episode. They said there's a major death. I mean, everyone was saying last year that they were going to kill a major star off in the season finale, but everyone thought that was Ralph. Obviously, Ralph didn't die. No one technically died in the finale because obviously the Thinker was inside Ralph's body. He was just shape-shifting from Ralph into like Clifford DeVoe's body. So no one realistically died. So could someone die in the first episode? Yes. Will it be someone major? Probably not. I mean, people had thought that Joe's going to die for years, but if we go to the 2024 article, and it was a big kind of selling point of season 3 that Joe does become the chief captain of Central City Police Force. So someone could die, but I can't realistically see it being anyone big, because obviously Cecile's been brought up to a main cast member, so it can't be her. So it could be anyone, so not really major death. So the only take a point away from this video is that Nora Allen's trapped in our timeline, and a narrative is going to be set around. And the narrative will be set around that, because obviously Grant hasn't read the script yet, but I'm sure he knew details about season 5 before the current season actually ended. So like I said, only take the kind of Ace Comic Con stuff as factual, because when the stuff comes out as leaked, you don't know whether it's true. It's like the Marvel content I do. When it's leaked, we don't know if it's true or if it's not. It's just when you say leaked, don't take it as factual. When it's revealed, then it is kind of factual. So anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.